Let's get this figured out. This world gon' give me whatever I need until I get this vision out. Then they gon' pay me whatever I ask, cause I got it figured out. Family be checking all up on a nigga to see how I'm feeling now. Damn, they love to see a nigga really make a killing now. I put a lock on the game and I hide the code and the keys. I am not playing no games, I really play this shit for keeps. That shit for me.
MaddenHeadz YouTube, what's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video. And man, I have been getting a ton of questions. I didn't even realize how many questions I had, but I had a ton of questions talking about the defense or the lack thereof. And so a lot of this ties into what we were talking about yesterday with the speed boost glitch and the game just being seasonally more offensive around this time. Yeah, it's a big issue because it's like with Madden doesn't do any of the common sense stuff that makes sense, but it has a tendency to lean towards the amazing and incredible and the highlight reel grabbing stuff. And so I think that's like some of the biggest problems we have on defense is that they just don't make the simple, basic, fundamental play. But I mean, we've been going through this for years, so it's nothing new. It's just more irritating now than ever because now the game seems more realistic because they're adding more realistic stuff in terms of graphics, in terms of just player movement and all that stuff. And it's like it takes a leap in one area and then it severely drains the other area. It's just, yeah, it's crazy the way this game is played. But my whole point is, like, that's why I say I blitz a lot. And by blitzing early in the game, you kind of speed up, the offense's clock. And then as the game, as you start to see that person progress through their offense and you see them trying different stuff, and you get them in a consistent state of trying to protect themselves from the pressure, then you have less routes to deal with and things become a little bit more confined to certain spaces wherever they want to go with the ball. You should be able to pick up on their reads and that kind of stuff as the game goes along, depending upon what kind of pressure you're sending. Five wides, I don't allow people to run five wides against me unless you have a tight end into block. You will not run five wides. I have no way, no how. I don't care what blocking scheme you have. You're going to have to bring that extra guy. It's simple. It's a numbers game. Like the great Bobby Bowden used to say, hey, man, we're sending 7, they're protecting with 5. Somebody's going to get hit. And so that's just the simplicity of Madden. But once that part starts to, once you get through that little first phase of the game where you're showing them you're sending pressure, eventually that person's going to start protecting themselves. And now, you know what I'm saying? I start playing the sticks a lot, especially with my zones. That's the one thing I'm going to do with my zones. I'm either going to make sure that I'm suffocating one side of the field, or I'm going to make sure that I'm protecting, what matters most at that point, which may be the first down marker. And so, to me, you just have to, and I know it doesn't work all the time, but you just have to be able to mix your defense into the situation that you're in. So if it's 4th and 25 or whatever, then I may just call cover 4 quarters and then put everyone at the sticks, just to protect against that particular thing. Now, from a user perspective, then yeah, I may go in another place or where I feel like wherever the biggest threat is, I may switch stick to that side. But for the most part, now, man, I'm playing down and distance. I'm gonna blitz early, and then I'm gonna come with my man hybrids, my zone hybrids, according to whatever it is my opponent is trying to do. And so you just have to think, if a person's protecting you with 5, if they're going 5 wides and they're protecting with 5 and you're sending 6, that 6th person is going to get there. What you have to do is make sure that you're getting there as fast as possible and then protecting, the light areas, as I call it. But for me, I'm strictly going to stick to blitzing early. I'm going to stick to my hybrids. I'm going to stick to my defensive clock-in technique, for all the people. And that's the one thing I've found that's actually really been rescuing me, especially against the speed burst stuff. And so, again, mixing in your coverages, mixing in your hybrids. Sometimes you just have to be a step ahead of your opponent. You see Warren Sapp right there. I got a good jump with a D tackle, and he didn't make a play. That was crazy. But it on this game, especially now with the knockouts being, kind of a little bit juiced up, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have guys in the area, and you want to make sure, which you can't in certain instances, that your guys are reacting. So you see how I'm playing the wide side of the field. I'm going to send a little bit of help deeper on the wide side of the field. It's 3rd and 10, and so I know for a fact on that particular down, hey, I'm trying to keep him from getting a first down, so I'm going to have to protect the sticks. I'm going to mix it in with a little bit of man, a little bit of zone. It's going to look like man in some spots. It's going to look like zones in some spots. It's pretty much, for the most part, always going to look like I'm blitzing or I'm in something that possibly could be sending pressure. And so, again, the type of hybrids I run, let's say I may run a 3-man robber shell or something like that, one high on one side of the field where I'm manned up to the tight end, I'm manned up to the running back, I'm manned up to a receiver. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dropping different guys off in different zone adjustment style defenses. The soft squats are a great help when it comes to defending corner routes, defending curls on the outside, and even defending some of those little quick return route kind of combos, and also RPOs. If you in the right thing, you understand what you're doing. You have that soft squat on the field, especially against a lot of these guys who play a lot of that bunch stuff. I'll call like a man lock or something like that, and then I may just put the outside guy on a soft squat just to cover that first initial threat of that little wheel route that kind of comes off the line that everybody likes to throw real quick. Pressure angles is another thing to me that's extremely important. I try to get, maybe an outside rusher, maybe, a nickel corner or somebody like that. And then the key is to, adjustment-wise, is to replace that zone with something. Either you're going to man up another guy, you're going to drop a tackle or end or something of that nature. A lot of manual movement. Manual movement helps a lot in your secondary when you physically take your corner and place him inside or outside to the leverage. And then now, when you do your route committing, I can place a corner inside but have my routes committed to the outside. And if you do a lot of that, you'll see a lot of the effectiveness. Anyway, man, it's Tuesday. We're going to keep this thing running all week, man. We got a big time good virtual coming up this week, man. I just got to kind of figure out what I'm going to name it, but it's anyway, man, this is our coach.